time, basically on determine if the tree needs repot, if it's in health conditions that allow me to repot, and if I'm still developing, or am I more into a refinement state condition that I don't have a lot of trees in that situation, but except maybe this one in this year, because it's still not there. But if your tree is not getting to that refinement stage, sometimes it doesn't make sense to change to a shallow pot, and you might as well just stick with a development pot, a little deeper, a little wider, and keep those roots healthy and fine, so that the canopy does the same. In terms of soil, same thing. You know, if you're developing, you can use a soil that has more of a maybe a little organic matter, and it allows you to fertilize throughout the year. And if it's in a refinement state, then you can go to that pure bonsai soil made of kadama, pumice, and lava rock. Then in the development pots, you can also think if it's worth it to utilize a basket pond, because as the oxygen penetrates and goes through the roots, it will also promote a lot more development and faster. It will also dry faster, which makes you water more nutrients, put more fertilizer, and water again, and water more, and the tree is just receiving constant feeding. The other pots, you might not have the need to water as much, so the water is not going down, the fertilizer is not penetrating as much or as fast, so it's not going to develop as fast. So that combination of water, fertilizer, good soil, if you can nail that out, you'll be set to have a successful bonsai journey. And lastly, the watering is probably one of the biggest mistakes, or one of the biggest challenges that many people face. So I'll suggest go through my videos. I have a specific one or two about watering, and that might help you out. In my case, I have a water system all over that I built, and I can just press the button on my phone, and it just goes off or on. So let's start with these maples. This is another video that I have. I repotted this composition from a traditional pot to this landscape pot. I have the red leaf maples in one side and green leaves in the other, and by summer they will all be green. But I chose this particular landscape and this separation between the colors specifically because I wanted to enhance the color difference. But then in summer you can't even distinguish one from the other. Of course, these trees still need a lot of development, tertiary branching and all that, thickening. But they do have a good amount of soil to develop a little. If I wanted to have a more rapid development, I would have to separate them and put in a deeper pot with development soil. And talking about soils, my soil preference is basically akadama, lava rock, and pumice. If it's deciduous, I do it 2 parts akadama, 1 on lava rock and pumice. And if it's juniper or pine, conifer, I would use 1 part akadama, 1 pumice, 1 lava rock. This soil, however, is not that. This is what I call the development soil, and I actually buy this mixture from the nursery. I know that it has 50% akadama, lava rock, and then there's some components that I actually don't know what it is, but I've tried this before and it will work wonders, so I keep buying it. But basically it should be something like 2 parts akadama, 1 lava rock, 1 pumice. In this case it doesn't have pumice, so it's replaced by something else. And I know that it has, you know, probably a little bit of pine bark and some other stuff that they like. This tree I didn't repot at all because it's developing. It has a good amount of soil. These pots look shallow, but they're actually pretty deep, and it's just getting established. I actually have stone kind of like that, but very interesting for this one, ready for next year. I was about to do it this year, but I thought that the trees were not established enough to move to that slab. I have another slab, kind of like those ones as well, also ready for this one, but this needs a lot of development, just like that one. So we're still in training pots. I moved this from a pond basket to this pot, just because the pond basket was not big enough already, and this pot actually has a good size and will allow development of this clump pretty fast. Right behind, I moved to the same size pot, and that's because the other one was so shallow that the tree behind this one was weakening and starting to lose branches, and I really needed to go deeper to recover the strength of the tree. This was in a traditional pot as well. I had this slab, so I decided to go here, and you can see that there's a big amount of soil that will allow also development. This particular Japanese maple has a lot more of short internodes and smaller leaves than those ones right there, so it should be very interesting in the future as it grows. This is just an experience. They stayed in the same pot. Here's the development pot for the size of the trees. You can see it's really small, so it's big enough. In the back, it stayed like it was last year, waiting for development. And we have more Japanese maples here. And here we have different size containers. So you can use a plastic pot, which is cheaper. Then you have the ceramics that I'm not a huge fan. They're good because they're heavy, so if the wind blows really strong, they're not going to be knocked out. But I prefer to use these plastic bonsai pots. However, I'm experiencing with basket ponds in the back, those two trees. And I really wanted to understand if there was going to be a big development difference from here to here, being that it's considerably the same amount of soil that they have and similar thickness of trees. So it's still an experience, but I noticed already that every time I use pond baskets that the trees just burst really fast or grow really fast. There's a small thing here. There is a Chinese elm, and I put it on that big container. This is cuttings from last fall, pomegranate and Chinese elm, cork bark Chinese elm. These ones are in containers with again a good amount of soil that will allow development. There's a clump here, one there. These were planted last year, so they stayed in the same containers. Over here I'm trying to do another layer here. It's getting dry, so I need to water. That's because there was a universe taper and it was really poor in terms of quality of the look. Over here, these trees, they were in small containers, and I didn't see a lot of development last year, so I put it back to the development containers and development soil to try to get more ramification and more development, more thickness, better root system. So here they are. Over there's an experience, and here you have a forest that I wanted to repot, but I didn't have time. It's been in this container already for 3 or 4 years, so it's going to be really root, how do you say? Root bound. I'm not sure if that's a term. Same here. I wanted to repot and I didn't have time. And over here, I didn't repot. This one was not developing as I wanted. It was in a really container, so here we go to the big basket pond to try to thicken up the tree. This was in a very little pot, and again, I need more development, so I'm going back to containers to develop. Same thing with this one. This one is the same. It was never very strong. I should have put it in a very deep pot, to be honest. I don't think orange trees like shallow containers, and it never developed well, so I missed out again this year. Development container, I'm trying to do a kind of a wind swept. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do, but the main trunk will actually start from here now, because a squirrel jumped into it and broke the top part of the tree. Development containers on the pines. They were all passed from a very tiny little pot to basket ponds because they will develop a lot faster. Change of pot here as well. I actually like the pot that this tree has. Obviously it hasn't been styled yet. I'm just trying to gain more thickness. These guys were in gallon pots. This was my last styling last fall, and here it is. Root reduction, massive root reduction on this one. I wasn't expecting it, but it had to be. Not so much on that one. This one was literally bare rooted because the soil that he had, it was very poor quality, and it all came apart basically. So here they are. A couple more years and it might be ready for a bonsai pot. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to develop this a lot more. Same pot, same soil, no repotting, but it's been in this container for 3 years, I believe, and I really wanted, again, no time. Got a little ruddy here that has been repotted last year and it started to take shape. It wasn't repotted at all. Same thing here, waiting to develop, needs a lot more green. Stayed in the same container. This one was repotted. It was in a very shallow pot and the tree was kind of weakening, so I'm trying to recover health. I don't love the pot at all. I think that it's gonna take that pot in the future probably, and this one I'm not sure who's gonna use it, but there's another one for that one. Same thing, didn't repot because it's still developing and still trying to recover health from last year. Stayed the same. This one is the same. Everything here is the same. Just a different choice of pots. It's, I think, one of the cool things about bonsai is that you, over time, as you accumulate pots, you can try different pots and see how they work. This one doesn't work so well, but this one is, in my opinion, is going to be great. This one should be in development pots, obviously. They're not. I didn't have time, and the needles were already open, so it didn't allow me to repot. And here's another one. This is to disregard, most likely in the future. It wasn't repotted. Trees growing nicely, and I want to develop more, so this one is pretty good where it is.